So let's go through the photos. There's a little bit of a segment of this documentary on the retro gaming system. This is kind of a first attempt here in Lightburn software because I knew we were getting that new laser cutter. The new Nova 51, 51 inches wide, 48, some 40 inches deep or something like that. Big laser cutter, 100 watt. So I started laying stuff out in here to try see what it was like. Um, did some previews and things like that. This is the pre figuring out that this wasn't deep enough and wide enough and all that. So kind of before all of that. Doug sent into Virginia this HP micro PC for me to continue my rabbit hole of video games. He had another one, a Nook, that I was going to use for the Xbox, but the chip in it wasn't quite up to snuff, so I didn't want to do that. So I got a different Dell PC for that one. We'll see that one in a little bit. This one ended up getting the Xbox printed onto it, so there's it right next to the classic Xbox shell that will end up being Nicole's case. The logo color was a little bit off. Hope Jordan won't mind. But the fins on there are all gloss, and you can feel the texture of it, just like on the old Xbox. Came out really nice. When that came out of the printer, I was so excited. I think there's even that's the size of the new laser. Again, it is absolutely huge. This is not quite in order. That was down the road a ways, and obviously I made a mistake and shifted everything to the right a bit. So, light burn. Okay, so this is the UV printer going, and you can see starting to get the white of the logo on there. It's obviously really blurry, but hard to keep it focused in on there when it keeps focusing on the glass. There's a little bit better. As you can see it putting white over the Dell logo. So that was doing Tyler's laptop. And that's how Tyler's laptop came out. Again, that's inside a case. No one will ever see it, but it really came out looking good. It took about 3 hours to print all of that, by the way. All the different, and that was printing layer after layer. That was after I'd figured out Jordan's, and I was really on it. I had knew exactly what I was doing, printed them all out there as fast as I possibly could, and it still took 3 hours to print all of that. So, yeah, and then I hit it. Another shot of it. And you can see a little bit, I had put some gloss over the Xbox letters on this version. I was trying to get the letters to pop up, but after a couple of prints of that, and it didn't get very tall, I just gave up. And I'm like, that's it, I'm done. 3 hours, we're good. And there's Jordan's and Tyler sitting next to each other. You can see I'm a little bit off on my colors, but all right, so here is the start of the classic Xbox shell. Found it on eBay. Somebody just had the shell of a computer. Great, we're gonna do this. What you can see here is these are the ports on the front of the Xbox. These are where the game controllers 3 and 4 would plug in. Turns out that these cables are actually just USB wires. That yellow one is a signal wire that's only used for the Xbox controllers. But all I had to do was pull those into a connector, bring the 4 wires out to a USB, and we were good to go. I also found out that these yellow wires here went to the control panel out the front, and that has the red and green LEDs, power and eject button. Well, power button will have to be in a further release of this. It was not going to happen this time, but I was able to wire in the 2 green LEDs, one on the left, one on the right, to power, and then plug them into a USB port. So there's a close-up of the connector. going from the front panel to my cable, and then from the cable into the USB connectors. And I cheated and did screw-in terminals because I was lazy, and my soldering skills are just horrible. On the other side, I decided to swap out the ports. So I swapped out the ports that were the game controller, the Xbox game controller, for these two USB 3. I bought these on a whim with a possible ghost of a chance that they would fit, and they did. They have ears on either side that have nuts in them that you would screw into a panel. They're panel mount. On the inside of both of these, I cut them in half, pulled the screw out, and it just fit in between a piece of plastic that's here and the front panel of the Xbox out here. These fins, the silver tabs, I had to pull up to get it to fit in. This would normally kind of provide grounding against the Xbox controller ports, but it was just too tight. But they fit in like they were made for it. Again, with that one cut on those, and they fit in there perfectly. They're USB 3, so if you plug a USB drive in there, it'll load up real fast into the computer inside. It came out beautifully. Really impressed. Real close-up of it. You can kind of see right here where the ear got cut in here, whereas on this side it's a little bit thicker. Well, it doesn't even look like it, but yeah, that's cut on this side and not cut on that side. This is the power port in the back. So I went in through, I can't remember what that port is on the back, but it has the, I had to make this opening a little bit wider, and then there's obviously metal there, so I had to take that, bend it over, bend it back, get this power cord in. This power cord goes to this on the other side, and it's hard to see, but that is the Mickey Mouse cable that goes into the power brick. So this is a regular computer cable into the Mickey Mouse going into the power brick. I get rid of the power cord, but the brick and all the power are inside of there. This is the HDMI port. So the HDMI port comes out the back. I ran that through the old power cord spot, and I'll show a picture of it later, but it fit just about perfectly. I had to take the screws and kind of melt them into the plastic to get it a little more flush, but it came out nicely. Now, there was no CD drive and there's no blanking plate, so I 3D printed off of a design I found a little bracket that would hold a blanking plate in place. And you can see there it's ready to hold it in the front. Oh, okay. I'll show you the rest of that later. This, I had to make risers in there to make the PC sit in place. Originally, I was just going to put low feet and just put it in there, but what I ended up doing is making it tall enough that the top of the PC pushed up against the top of the case, and then there was plenty of room underneath for all the cables to go. So it's all starting to come together now. So that was designed and 3D printed. That's all in place. Now you can see all the cables where the power brick is going in below there, the power cord over here going in. You can't see it, but the power is plugged in on this side. The HDMI jack right here. And we're starting to get it all in. Now there's the front USB ports going in. Around the back, you can see where the power cord's going in. Now I've got all of the USB cables going in. This is the one powering the LED, so when the computer turns on, the LEDs in the front light up. A little close-up of that section of it. Another one of that. Again. And now we've got the face plate on here. Right up here, we've got the blanking plate on there for the CD drive. A little bit of white nail polish. Nice 3D printed little blanking plate there for it. And there it is. There's a computer all inside, packaged up, all the cables ready to go. And then screwed the screws together, put it all in there, and it looks like an Xbox from the outside. You can see the power jack here and the HDMI jack here, and they should be, yep. So I had to melt the screw down in there a little bit because it just barely hit the outside edge of there. I just tapped it with a soldering iron, pushed it in, and it worked just great. There's a close-up of the power jack. That fit right in there nicely, screwed in tight. That's the USB ports that we put on the Xbox controllers 1 and 2. That's the regular controllers on 3 and 4. And there's still adapters to plug in USB, so those are in the box with it. And there it is, all ready to go.